Hello, long time no see. It's time for some Bible tea. So I'm reading Deuteronomy 22 and it says this.
You must not wear clothing made of wool and linen woven together.
So naturally I'm like, why, Lord? When I tell you that I was not ready.
So it turns out one of the reasons why God gave this instruction was because back then pagans would be wearing materials of wool and linen woven together. And so he wanted his people to be set apart. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But it's so much deeper than that. And I feel like this is the part where science is like, oh my gosh, turns out God was right.
No kidding.
So the frequency of a healthy body is at 100. And a person that has something incurable like cancer may have a frequency of 15 megahertz. So if we wear something that's less than 100 megahertz, it can compromise our well-being. For example, bleached and colored cotton is at about a 40. Materials of regular cotton, like not bleached, not colored, is at 100, which is normal, but then there's no like healing fibers. Silk has 10, rayon has 15. Polyester, acrylic, spandex, and nylon, those are like at a 0. Going back to the scriptures, wool has 5,000 megahertz and linen also has 5,000 megahertz, but because their frequencies are going the opposite directions, when woven together, they cancel each other out. So now you're at a 0. Also, there's just something about linen that it feels light and refreshing. And it turns out when we wear linen, it is actually reducing the solar gamma radiation. And here are some scriptures to back up how the Lord is intentional when he tells us to involve linen in like what we wear and things like that. So the first one I mentioned earlier from Deuteronomy 22:11, it says, do not wear clothes of wool and linen woven together. Leviticus 16:3-4 says, this is how Aaron is to enter the holy place. He is to wear the sacred linen tunic with linen undergarments. He must put on a linen sash around him and put on the linen turban. These are holy garments. So good. Revelation 19:8 says this, let us rejoice and be glad and give him the glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. She was given clothing of fine linen, bright and pure, for the fine linen she wears is the righteous acts of the saints. Proverbs 31:22 says, she makes coverings for her bed, her clothing is fine linen and purple. Ezekiel 44:17 says, when they enter the gates of the inner court, they are to wear linen garments. They must not wear anything made of wool when they minister at the gates of the inner courts or inside the temple. In Revelation 19:14, the armies of heaven, dressed in fine linen, white and pure, follow him on white horses. I had no idea that linen has healing fibers. So now it makes sense as to why they used to put patients in linen gowns in hospitals. Personally, I've always wondered why I'm always drawn to like linen clothing, but I don't buy them all the time. I just thought maybe like, oh, the Lord wants me to look cute and you know, it's really cool fabric. But as usual, I should have known that there is a deeper purpose. And I know that wearing linen and having linen bedding and pillows and things like that, it might seem like a small thing, but scripture says that in everything, do it for the glory of God. He wants to be involved in everything, in what we eat, what we drink, how we dress, how we decorate our houses, every little thing he wants to be involved. I low-key want to go into my closet now and throw out everything that's not linen, but also, am I gonna have any clothes left?